We're going to start now sort of with the lead up to the award ceremony that we have, because we've sort of planned all the presentations of the companies that are present here that are nominated for the Commodity Discovery Fund Award to present now. So make sure you listen closely. And after the Fund Award, maybe just a quick reminder, we'll have an award reception. We'll have some champagne, we'll have some finger food, all sponsored by Commodity Discovery Fund. So make sure to stick around for that. And Tara, one of the first, I think, to present as part of the pack. So congratulations on the nominations and looking forward to hearing an update.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Kai. And it's a real pleasure to be here in Frankfurt and to meet the many shareholders that I have in Frankfurt, and thank you for your support, including the Commodity Discoveries Fund. It's been a great shareholder. So here's our project area. You're looking at 4 million ounces with a highway right through it, a power line with capacity right through it, even cell phone service. And we know that there's a lot more on this property, and the work that we've done this year is really going to grow this. So please do your own research on investing. So what are the top 5 reasons to invest in Banyan? Well, we're starting with 4 million ounces. That's a pretty good place. An inferred resource near surface, I'll show you. It has lots of room to grow. Our program this year, we drilled 50,000 meters, focused on expanding that to a Tier 1 asset. And we're really confident that this property has the potential to host that and more. We've got a great track record. If you look at our share price, that's one evidence of it. The other is that we've created real value. We've taken this project from acquiring it in 2017, coming up with a maiden resource in 2020 for $2 per ounce, putting out this 4 million ounce resource at $5 per ounce in exploration cost, and continuing to grow it. Our exceptional infrastructure, I already said, roads, power, communications, even cell phone service and fiber optic cable already on the property. We need a whole 50 meters of power line to get connected to the grid. So very exciting where we're located. And quite frankly, there's not very many projects of our scale that are in a jurisdiction that has that exceptional infrastructure. And we're year-round. We just wrapped up drilling about 10 days ago. We're still cutting core out there and logging it. We'll be doing that for another few weeks. We continued to December 15th last year. We started January 26th. So this project can be year-round. We're set up for it. We're set up to be able to scale up too. So that gives our investors the benefit of year-round news flow and really lets us advance this very quickly should the right market for that occur. You can see where we're located, right beside 2 mines, Victoria Gold and Hecla. Hecla just took over Alexco September 7th, so their investment in the Yukon is, I believe, for more than just for Alexco. They've made an investment in this jurisdiction, and the geology and time, I think, will tell us more about what they intend to do. Great jurisdiction, and we're in that Tombstone intrusive belt that hosts Victoria Gold. Same style of mineralization as we have, same style of mineralization as Snowline Gold out to the east. And I think what you've seen in the Yukon is that this is very underexplored. There is yet a lot to be discovered. Our power line deposit, which hosts the 3 million of the 4 million ounce resource, we discovered in 2019, right beside a highway. So if you can find that right beside the highway, what else is in this jurisdiction? We have, if you were to draw a circle from our AurMac property, there would already be 15 million ounces in gold equivalent ounces. That just is a start, I believe. Victoria Gold just put out their new 1.6 gram, 1.1 million ounce Raven deposit, which is just across the valley. We can look from our camp and see their drills turning with the lights on. That shows you there's lots more to be discovered, and they drilled more this year. Our team, we've got all the skill sets we need to really deliver value. We've added a mining engineer to the board. We've got capital markets, legal. We've also added Jason Neal, who's got tremendous breadth of experience in banking as well as with M&A and connections to some of the other majors who we're going to want to talk to as we grow this into a Tier 1 asset. So Banyan, our share price has done pretty well. We're still trading around 40 cents. We've done our last 2 financing, as you noticed. My microphone. Oh, there it's back. Okay. We're in a really good position with a strong treasury. We're going into next year with about $10 million in the bank, which puts us in very good stead. We're really pleased to have some great long-holding shareholders, institutional investment of about 30%, including 9.8% of Franklin Gold and Precious Metals, Victoria Gold at 12.4%. I'm a 4.5% shareholder, and I'm the third CEO of this company. I took over in 2016. So I have a very significant investment, which I've purchased in every financing since I became the CEO, and as well as in the market. So, in the last 2 years alone, that's been $1.2 million. So I intend to make my money alongside my shareholders in equity. And, part of my philosophy about doing financings without warrants is I want those that buy our shares in the market to be able to do as well as everybody else who's been able to participate in placements. You can see we get coverage. You can reach out to Richard Gray if you'd like to get some more information from him. So here's that resource. The orange is the outline of the resource deposit. And it's a strange shape. That's just because we have lots yet to drill out. It's in 3 deposits. The top one is our airstrip deposit. The middle, the largest one there where the 3 million ounces is our power line deposit. And then our Oryx Hill is off to the east. You can notice the strip ratio, 0.34 to 1. That's a very low strip ratio. I thought Victoria Gold had an exceptional strip ratio at 1 to 1, but Powerline, this mineralization is right on surface, and it remains open, east, west, at depth, south. We've got lots of exploration to do. Our drilling this year, we've expanded about 1 kilometer to the west, 2.5 kilometers to the east. We've drilled some step-out holes 4 kilometers to the east, and I'll show you that we have lots of exploration potential yet on this property. We have 2 properties, though. Our Nitra there off to the west. AurMac itself is 173 square kilometers, very large. We've explored less than 5% of it, roughly an area of about 4 by 5 kilometers. You can see the 3 resource areas there, the power line zone being the bulk of it. That gray is the $1,700 pit shell, which constrains this resource. Power line's about 1 kilometer in strike, and from that map and in this image, you can see that we roughly have 5 kilometers here where we've been focusing on. So, 3 million ounces just at power line in 1 kilometer. And there you can see the drill holes, all which go into, many of which have been included in the resource, but many which are outside of the resources you can see. And the red drill holes, which are a little bit hard to see here, are the ones which we have not received assays for. We have over 100 drill holes pending from this year, and yes, it will take a little time to get assays. We get them continuously, and we'll probably get them continuously through March as we start to get them back. So lots of exploration potential, and we believe that Oryx Hill, which is the bright green, is connected to Powerline there, which is that large 3 million ounce resource. And let's just look at Powerline. Powerline, you can see the cross-section there, the mineralization right on surface, going to about 200 meters depth. If we'd have picked a 0.5 cutoff grade, we still would have had 2 million ounces at almost a gram. We've intersected some higher grade this year. That was part of our goal, twofold gold, get it to that tier 1 status, as well as find more on-surface higher grade mineralization. 31 meters of 1.8, 27 meters of 1.5, 84 meters of 1.14 in a brand new area that there's exploration potential all around it. So we're very excited about those results. But we see 16 kilometers of trend of this host rock that the Powerline and the Oryx Hill mineralization are hosted in. We roughly focused on the 5 meters that 5 kilometers that's close to the existing resource, but we also stepped out 4 kilometers to the east, and we drilled some holes 6 kilometers to the east, and we put 5 holes in along an existing road there, and we're really excited to see what that brings in terms of the blue sky potential beyond what we have close by to Powerline. We also wanted to show that we have blue sky potential on our Nitra property. We did lots more soils there, trenching, drilled 3 holes. We think it looks geochemically and geologically very similar to our Powerline deposit. Metallurgy, something that we've also focused on, came back with 90% recoveries from the bottle rolls on pulps that we did in 2021. But we knew as soon as we financed this June that it was time to get serious. We've engaged the same team that's doing the program for Victoria Gold, all their grade control and reconciliation, as well as an independent consultant who's worked on projects all across the world to make sure that we're designing a very robust program that gives us all the answers that we need to satisfy the many questions that we're getting about metallurgy. We're doing some VAT testing right now. We're doing gold deportment studies. We just shipped a pallet load of core off to the lab to start our column tests. But we intend to do a very robust program, and you'll see results to come out through 2023 and even into 2024, showing that this is potentially a heap leach project. any project needs to be doing the ESG right, and it's something that I think we do exceptionally well. We've got very long-standing relationships in the community. I run a charity that we've run for 10 years, long before I was the president and CEO of Banyan. We're ramping up our efforts of that in response to the impacts of COVID on kids and communities, and we're very proud of that work. But we also do lots of training. We take our safety very seriously. We use First Nation-owned businesses to supply us with our services. And being part of this community is very important for the long-term health of this project and our ability to permit it as we move forward. So really, it's been a short journey. 2016, I became the CEO. I had to find another asset. By 2017, we'd acquired the properties which now comprise our AurMac. 7,000 meters by 2020 in the spring. We had already 900,000 ounces. We drilled 40,000 meters to come out with the 4 million ounces that we now have. And then we've since drilled 50,000 meters this year. We're well positioned for next year. We have enough funding to do all of our metallurgy and drill another 15,000 meters, which right now will be focused on following up on those high-grade results as well as showing blue sky potential. So lots of exciting news flow as we continue to advance and de-risk this project. I think we all know there's a lack of projects that are 6 million ounce plus that have that tier 1 attribute that big companies are looking for in a location where you can permit. And Victoria Gold and Hecla just permitted their mines right beside us. We have a First Nation community that knows mining. We've got all that exceptional existing infrastructure in a brownfield area. We've got 2 mines beside us showing us that this jurisdiction is possible to mine in. Compelling current valuation. And our exploration cost of less than $5 per ounce. So look for very exciting news flow as we go into 2023. And we really appreciate the support of all of our shareholders. And feel free to reach out to me to set up a meeting.
Fantastic. Wow. All right. We've got some time left for some questions. Have we got any questions from the audience? No? I got one for you, Tara.
Okay.
No? Willem? Oh.
Will you still be independent in 24 months?
I don't know. That doesn't scare me, though. I've got lots I can do.
Now, Tara, one thing on the previous slide I noticed, you went from 30,000 meters to 50,000 meters down to 15,000 meters.
Yep.
Why?
Well, that's how much cash we have in the bank, and that leaves us with $1.5 million going into 2024. Being a bit conservative, that's, at least we have cash in the bank. We can schedule it. That lets us plan a program where we're going to add a lot of value. I want to get our assay results back. We still have 100 holes pending. And once we get to tier 1 asset scale, I have a lot of people asking me, well, how much bigger do you need to get it? And so the drilling next year that we've planned is really, making sure that we're not being too dilutive. We're focusing on getting that high grade, which I think is the next phase, and showing blue sky potential. And we'll see what next year brings. I think it's going to be very, very exciting.
Well, with 100 holes pending, it is already exciting, I have to say. And I'm a shareholder, so I'm really happy to be it. I've been to the project twice. Tier 1 status, the definition of tier 1, how do you define that? So
plus 5 million ounces and potentially produce 300,000 ounces per year. And why am I in that goal? Because that's when I went and talked to all the majors about it, and I wanted to show them our project. They said, well, come back when you're a tier 1 asset and you fit our criteria. So that's what I did. We went out and we drilled, and that's our goal, to meet that.
Talking majors, there's a couple majors now in the Yukon, but they were really gun shy at first. Has that changed a little bit?
I think there are definitely people looking around the Yukon and seeing new investment. I think the purchase of Kaminak with Gold Corp and the Newmonts made people a little bit gun shy. Key difference for us is we have one First Nation. We've got existing infrastructure. It's a little bit easier project to potentially advance than that one. Some of the other majors spend exploration dollars in projects which were very far from infrastructure, and we saw them, decide not to reinvest. And again, maybe they didn't pick the right projects.
Interesting, fantastic. Any one last question? Yeah, Ryman?
Do you have your preference yourself, Victoria Gold or Hecla Mining, to sell it?
No, that's not my job. My job is to make sure I get the best value for my shareholders, and that includes me because I'm a big shareholder. So we'll see who comes up with the best offer and where that takes us. And there's more than that looking around the Yukon. So yeah, that's 2 that's right next door. But my job is to get out and make sure other people know about this project and just how much we've advanced it.
Fantastic.
in tax regime for mining. Well, that's not my area of expertise, but because mines and when you develop a mine, you have a lot of expenses. Generally, you don't pay a huge amount of tax in the first few years. There is a royalty regime in the Yukon, and I think the best person to talk to about both the tax and the royalty regimes is probably John McConnell of Victoria Gold, who's just built a mine. But I think it is pretty favorable compared to some of the other provinces. And again, it's probably very project specific in your economics.
Awesome. Tara, thank you so much. Fantastic presentation.
Thank you, Kai.
Congratulations again on the nomination. And before I announce the next speaker,
What's it?
I forgot to put this on the table because that's the prize we're going to be talking about. So the award. But